All right, trade recap. We technically took a little loss today, which I'm totally okay with because today's price action was straight up booty cheeks. But again, we knew that today was most likely going to be like that, so we de-risked anyway. Again, I was risking $80 to make like $200, right? If the full trade played out, but it didn't. We ended up hitting one take profit because again, Nasdaq, you'll see, came up to London session highs and 1 hour highs. I thought ES could at least come up to this 15-minute fair value gap, but it didn't want to, which is okay. And again, we managed risk correctly, only losing around $29 per account. So we lost like $205 total today, right? So on 7 PA accounts, that is nothing. Usually I risk that per account, right? So again, lost $29 per account today. That's not a crazy loss. I think we managed risk correctly today based how price action was reacting. We moved our stop loss up. We went in a smaller position size, de-risking, risking only $80 per account. And we still made that even smaller by taking one partial and moving our stop loss up, right? So let's go into the trade recap, okay? As we can see, let's turn this off. I was expecting price to come down, sweep out London session lows, and then continue higher. I was bullish today because, again, we're bullish in the 4 hour and on the 1 hour, and it looked like London session sweep, New York session continuation, which it was on NASDAQ, but we didn't want to do that on ES, right? We wanted to come out, take out these highs on NASDAQ that continue lower, and take out these draws and liquidity down below for ES. So what ended up happening is I was on the 5-minute time frame. We ended up sweeping out a 15-minute draw and liquidity down below, right here. These 15-minute lows, we'll go to an ES. We ended up sweeping out these 15-minute lows, right? We ended up getting a reaction off of that. It was on the 5-minute time frame still, was waiting for the macro to open. We ended up breaking structure on the 5-minute time frame, and we ended up inversing a 15-minute fair value gap, right, on this candle here. So ES didn't break structure to the upside yet, but I thought, hey, price is probably going to continue up. I would like to see price continue up at least to that 15-minute fair value gap on ES, but it didn't, and then target the 1 hour highs if NASDAQ wanted to take out all these draws. I really think if NASDAQ wanted to take out Asian session highs, we would have came up into that 15-minute fair value gap, maybe came up and took out that 1 hour draw too, but again, we didn't want to. So what would have been, well, I'll go over what the smart trade would have been, but let's go over the trade we took. So I scaled down to the 1-minute time frame on ES, because I saw 5-minute break of structure on NASDAQ and 15-minute fair value gap getting disrespected. I then marked out equilibrium on NASDAQ from these lows to these highs. I saw price come in and react off of equilibrium. So I scaled down to the 1-minute time frame thinking that NASDAQ was going to target these 1 hour highs, right? As you can see, we scaled down to the 1-minute time frame. We'll X this out. I ended up seeing price, I marked the equilibrium from these lows to these highs, and then we had this 1-minute bullish fair value gap right here. I wanted price to come down, react off equilibrium, and these 1-minute highs, 1-minute fair value gap, show buying pressure out of it. First entry, right here. First entry was here, original stop loss was here. First take profit originally was this part of the 15-minute fair value gap to start, and then the 50% level, and then target our 1 hour draw on liquidity above, right? So that was first entry. I entered in 2 micro E-minis, so half my normal position size, right? Wanted to de-risk today, but again, we're on ES here. It's a 3-point stop loss, so it's literally, we're risking $80, nothing crazy. Again, I wanted to look for more confirmation before I entered in a little bit more, so I saw this 1-minute bearish fair value gap right here. I wanted to see that get inversed plus a break of structure to the upside, right? Because again, I wanted to see us, since we broke structure to the downside in 1 minute, show that bullish confluences are getting respected, right? So we broke structure on the 1 minute and we inversed this 1-minute fair value gap. I got in at this candle closure right here. So again, this was my second entry. Stop was the same. The first take profit was here. Second take profit was here, right? So then I was in my full position size. So let's just X this one out just so we're not confused. Our full position was probably like this or something like that. Again, probably equaled out to be like that. So as you can see, we'll go to the 1-minute time frame on NASDAQ. We could see that NASDAQ came up, took out these 1 hour highs, right, at like 10:11. So 10:11, took out those 1 hour highs. I took one take profit. Well, I didn't actually. Sorry, excuse me. I did not take that yet. NASDAQ came up, took out these 1 hour highs. I didn't want to see a reaction off of it. It ended up coming back down. I thought we were going to get stopped out. Then we get this huge move up, right? Coming back up, taking out London session highs on NASDAQ. That's when I took my first take profit, right? So I took off one micro E-mini there. Left another micro E-mini here. Had another one at the start of the 15-minute bearish fair value gap. So one take profit was here, two take profit, three take profit, fourth runner all the way to the 1 hour highs. Just because, again, we're coming up to these draws and liquidity on NASDAQ, we could definitely get a reaction off of it. As you can see, we did. So I decided to put my stop loss to these lows after getting this huge move up. Because, again, if we wanted to continue up, probably would have taken out these draws. Hopefully, I wish we took out this also. But again, I put my stop loss below these lows because if we ended up continuing lower off this area, we're probably going to get stopped out. And I wanted to preserve some capital. So as you can see, one take profit hit for around, if we had this stop loss, around a 1 to 1.78. This would have been around a 1 to 2.6. And then this would have been around a 1 to 4, which would have been awesome. But again, it didn't hit. So we lost around $26 or $29 per account. I forget the exact number. I can look right here. $29 per account on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and then $30 per account on 2 of them. So again, not a big losing day. I think we traded good based off of how price action was today because it was complete dog shit. Because again, we have CPI coming out tomorrow, and I think price is just developing liquidity to see what we want to do tomorrow. But let's go back over this trade real quick. That probably would have been the best trade to take. It's literally one of the first strategies I learned. We could see a 5-minute break of structure to the upside. We saw that we inversed this 15-minute fair value gap. We should have waited for a 5-minute retracement, which we got here. Then we could have scaled down to the 1-minute time frame. We could see that we inversed the fair value gap right here. This could have been your entry on NASDAQ. Stops below these lows for a 22-point stop. First take profit, 1 hour highs. Second take profit would have been London session highs. And third, final take profit would have been, these Asian session highs right here, but we didn't want to take them out for a 1 to 1.8. So this would have hit, and then you probably would have been stopped out at your trailing stop loss. So again, that probably would have been the best trade for today. But I wanted to take it on ES for some reason because I thought, hey, ES was lagging behind. We could probably continue up. But other than that, you can see we continued fucking down. So small loss today, right? My thought process is on this that I traded really well. I think I managed risk really well, especially on a day like today. I shouldn't be upset with myself at all. I followed my game plan. I saw a good setup. It had the potential to play out, but the market didn't want it to play out today. Because, again, it's a day before CPI, and this CPI news data drop is actually supposed to be important because, again, it's going to see if we cut interest rates or not. And, again, I think they're talking about if there's the delay in the tariffs and how that's going to go and stuff like that. Again, I got to dive deeper into that. I was studying it last night, and I literally sent out an announcement in the Discord on the live news feed. It said, just a reminder, we've got CPI news data dropping Tuesday. Monday could sometimes be a choppy or give false breakouts while the market builds liquidity ahead of the big release. This CPI is especially important because it's one of the main inflation metrics the Fed watches when deciding on interest rate cuts. If the number comes in hotter than expected, it could possibly push back rate cuts and pressure the market. If it's cooler than expected, it could fuel a rally. So expect big volatility on Tuesday. Trade smart. Look for A+ setups, not maybe if it works trades. Manage your risk. Trade your plan. And let's have a great week. Here's a screenshot of all the news. And again, literally said manage your risk for Monday. Because again, stuff like this can happen. So overall, I think we traded good today, right? Just because we took a small loss doesn't mean it's the end of the world. We managed risk correctly. We could have lost more. But again, we managed risk today. We took a small loss. It's totally fine. You can get that back in literally just, if I take a trade on NASDAQ, $29 is like 2 ticks, 3 ticks with 4 micro E-minis. I don't know if that's the correct math, but again, that's nothing. So, again, I think we did good today, especially on a day like today with shitty price action. And, yeah, hopefully this video helps you guys out. So, again, like and subscribe. Hopefully you like these trade recaps. I post the in-depth trade recaps in my Discord. If you guys want to join that, it is $9.99 a month now because, again, I just want real traders who actually want to learn how to trade and dedicate everything to trading, not people who are just going to dip their toe in and not try and learn. So, again, if you want to join, you can join. The link's in my bio on YouTube and Instagram, and appreciate all you. Thank you.